Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at FIJ 2020. I'm sitting down with Matthew Vidot from Sorry We Are French, and you've brought us the second game to look at today, which is Paris 1889.
Yeah, so Paris 1889 is a sequel to Greenville 1989, and it's designed by the same designer, Florian Fay, and it's a sequel in mechanically and in the storyline. So this is an image image association game, like in the Dixit or Mysterium family, and this one is more narrative and almost role play. So in that game we are teenagers from the 80s in the US, but we go back in time to resolve the problems we had in Greenville last time, and we go back in France in 1889. By the time there was an exposition.
World's Fair.
Yeah, World's Fair and that's when the Eiffel Tower was built. That's why you have that beautiful Eiffel Tower. That's the first player. And it is like Greenville, the same kind of game. So we start the game, we are looking for rings because we discovered there is a group of people who are at the beginning of all our troubles, and it began in Paris, in the catacombs, and they are summoning a beast, abomination, something dark, and it's tracking us, so we need to find the rings before the beast catches us. So at the beginning of the game I'm here, for example, I'm at the Moulin Rouge, you are close to the Eiffel Tower.
Which I'm just going to show my card so we can appreciate the artwork already.
David is amazing. There is a lot of work. We worked a lot on research in the newspapers, photos from of that time, to have a lot of information for David so he can draw very good way.
Sort of authentic architecture.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
That
it existed it really existed. That's the same angle, etc.
Wow, that's neat. Okay, so we each are starting in the location.
And at the beginning of that game, we are just explaining. Oh, I'm close to Moulin. I can explain what happens to me. I'm going to enter in the Moulin Rouge because I heard I could maybe find a guy that could explain me. Maybe I can have a clue about that ring that is around in the area. So you explain and what you intend to do, what is around you, how you feel, etc. That's the idea of the game. You will do the same.
So I might say, well, I'm feeling quite inspired looking at this fountain with the sight of the Eiffel Tower in the distance, and I feel drawn to go closer to this monolithic structure.
Absolutely.
But maybe I'm reluctant to leave the beauty of the fountain.
You want to. Okay. Yeah, so it's your first time in Paris, so that's why you want to hang out.
Good detail,
Don't forget the mission, which is to find the rings. I'm kidding. So after we did that, you are the first player, and we reveal cards here, equal to the number of players, plus 1 or 2. That's not important for the moment. And you will take our tokens, and you will place secretly in front of the card that matches my history, my narrative.
If we have more players, we would just continue around the board.
Let's say it's like that. And if there are older players, we will take all the little tokens. You cannot speak, and we will just place the tokens. And after that, we will check if it matches. If it matches, you simply put it on the top.
I have traveled to
it's the next step of your story actually. It matches. So when it matches, you take your character and you move, and you are going to take the ring
because you found it.
Yeah, and it goes in the vault, or how did it work? I don't remember the name. Anyways, so if it doesn't match, let's say I didn't find my card, it is just discarded and I don't move. Okay. Once we have resolved for every player, at the end of the turn, the beast moves. Yeah, absolutely. When the beast arrives here, all players who have not found a card yet, discard it and take a new one. That's a good way to return to the game. Yeah. And when the beast reaches that skull, we reveal a token here. And sometimes nothing happens, but sometimes the beast moves again.
Extra.
Yeah. So the goal of the game is to collect 5 rings. If we do so, we win immediately. But there is another way to win or to lose. It's when the beast reaches at least one player. It catches the players, and that's the final battle. So the final battle is all players that have been caught flip their card, and we perform a new turn, a new round. And the difference is all the rings we collected, we can use them now. How can we use them? That way. Let's imagine you're still first player. You can use a ring to focus on a particular.
Oh,
and you can.
interesting.
So we can It's easier to find
make
our
that
card.
connection.
Yeah, but maybe you wanted to focus on me, but my card is flipped. But I have to remember.
Right.
But maybe my card wasn't flipped. It's easier. So maybe you are going to use the rings for another player, etc. So, and we need to find every answer. So it needs to be a perfect round, otherwise we lose. And so the more rings you collect, the more you're closer to victory by the 5 rings victory, but in case that's more clues.
Do you find most people are ending the game because they're collecting all the rings successfully, or are they mostly ending
most of the
because
time it's going to be a final round because that's if you play
Just
very
really,
perfectly.
really well.
And after the end, you need to make a perfect round is quite hard too, but that's a cooperative game in a horrific universe, so you need it to be quite difficult to be won.
How long were you inspired by other sort of imagery association games?
That's it's a question maybe you
For the
should
designer,
for the
yeah.
designer. Yeah, that's and he told us he designed it before Mysterium. He didn't know, so when Mysterium was released, he was quite worried. So he changed a bit. So the difference with Mysterium is the guy moves every round.
Right, rather than
we are all in goal.
Yeah.
That's important for us, and the setup is very quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you can play in 2 minutes. And the game is more based on the narrative.
And
it's almost role play.
Let's talk about the art because we don't even have all the cards out. You have at least another
there are
third
84
of a deck.
cards.
Yeah.
It's a maximum you can print, actually.
Did you hire one artist to do
one.
all of the imagery?
Yeah. That's David. We have an artist in the studio, and he's working on almost all of our games. But it takes a lot of time for him to design all these cards. Most of them, they can seem dark here because that's not the real quality because it's not produced. It's going to be released in 6 months.
These are just pieces of paper slid into
There are a lot of landscapes and buildings from Paris. That's the entrance of the Opéra Garnier, for example. That's Arc de Triomphe. You can see there is a ring just close. And we are from it's very familiar for me because we are from Paris, so we can see.
Yeah,
but
there's like just a little bit on every card where you're like
yeah,
the fact that there's this
strange
strange things.
Yeah.
There's a bloody handprint on this wall. Like there's just these little hints where you're like something's not quite right.
That's why we came here to resolve all the problems.
Or something very large is not
that's in the Seine, maybe at the bottom of the Seine there are monsters in the catacombs. Yeah, there are a lot of stories about catacombs in Paris, so that's why we used that imagery, urban legends.
So you said this one is a few more months away from
end
being
of
ready?
August, I think. Yeah, it's going to be at the end of the summer.
Well, if you guys want to check that out once it's ready, this is Paris 1889. I gotta say that very slowly. Paris 1889.
It's even harder for me.
Which is being published by Sorry We Are French. And Matthew, thank you again.
Thank you. You're welcome.